the most powerful emotion is not gratitude, it's not positivity, it's not happiness, it's not joy, it's not bliss, it's disgust. When you get disgusted with your current situation, that's when you'll be motivated to move. You have to be in enough pain to get you to move. If you get in your crappy 15-year-old rust bucket car and go, I'm so thankful and grateful and appreciative for this rusty rust bucket car. Thank you, God. Oh, thank you, universe. Why would the universe give you something different? You have to be in gratitude and appreciation, yes. But that's only one ingredient in the formula. It isn't the entire formula. You have to start with something being disgusted with and then move. From that moment of disgust, then you have to say, what exactly do I want? And as Napoleon Hill said, you have to define specifically what you want, define your dream, and then get a burning desire for its achievement. It's got to be something you need and absolutely have to have. The rich people have gratitude and appreciation absolutely 100%, but they don't live there all day long. They go through the dance. So what's the disgust? Where is the pain? What is it in your life that you're absolutely not going to tolerate anymore? Visit that little painful land and use it so that you can clarify exactly what you do want. Then focus on what you want and then really get obsessed with it, or as Napoleon Hill says, get a burning desire for its achievement. See yourself in possession of it. And as you see yourself in possession of it, feel now as if you would feel as if you actually had it. Then release attachment to the outcome and say, but you know something? If it never happens, that's perfectly okay because I love my life and I love being me. And now this is the point where you're in gratitude and appreciation. After you go through the dance, the brain is a broadcaster and receiver of frequency. And that frequency, when it gets put out, affects matter in the physical universe and affects other people's brains. It's actually picked up by other people and can influence very strongly other people's thoughts and feelings and actions. This is one of the reasons why the law of attraction works and why the book Think and Grow Rich, which was one of the first books, it wasn't the first book, but it was one of the first books that popularized the idea that your thoughts can create your reality. The challenge with this is, if you're broadcasting that thought on the wrong brainwave frequency, it's not going to be picked up as much in the physical universe. So if you can imagine the physical universe is like a radio transmitter. And the physical universe picks up a particular radio frequency, 1040 AM. And you're broadcasting a very intense, powerful frequency that you want more money. You're broadcasting that intensely and you're broadcasting it all the time. But you're broadcasting on frequency 97.9 FM. If you have your receiver there set to AM 1040, you don't hear anything. The universe isn't hearing your broadcast because you're on the wrong frequency. You have to broadcast your desire in a certain way on the right frequency. And that billionaire brainwave, or that manifesting brainwave, or that wealth creating brainwave is right in between alpha and theta. It's right in between. That's the sweet spot. When wealthy people had their brains hooked up to biofeedback machines, which monitor the brainwave frequencies that the brain is producing, it noticed that the brain does change throughout the day. Interestingly enough, their brain is broadcasting alpha and theta most of the time. And more importantly, it's broadcasting in between alpha and theta, right around there, on the critical times when that person is putting out a desire for something that they want in their life. If you look at these people, that manifest things quickly and easily, or seem to, or appear to, and you analyze their brain, they have something different in their brain than you. In the brain, there's something called the hippocampus. It's a little thing in the brain. And this hippocampus, interestingly enough, is small and inactive, or has very low activity in people that are poor, in people that don't manifest their goals, dreams, and desires, in people that seem to fail at everything they try. And then when you look at people that manifest their goals, dreams, and desires, interestingly enough, their hippocampus is bigger and it's much more active. So the first thing you need to do in order to broadcast on that alpha-theta billionaire brainwave or wealth wave is to increase the size of your hippocampus and get it active. If you just do that, you're going to increase your power to broadcast in the alpha-theta billionaire brainwave. What you want starts getting created in the ether and then starts to physically manifest and is drawn into your life and reality. When you read books on how to manifest goals, dreams, and desires, how to use the law of attraction, how to get the things in life you want, when you read books on wealth creation, how to make money, how to invest properly, all these things about increasing wealth, increasing income, making more money, nobody mentions the most important ingredient to success, to wealth creation, to making money. Nobody mentions it. But it is the single most important ingredient. And if it's missing, it's going to be very difficult for you to make lots of money, achieve great financial success, and most importantly, achieve deep joy and happiness and bliss within. I was just with 40 guys out in California for a week. We spent a week together at a facility called the Golden Door Resort. These guys are incredibly wealthy people. They control probably $750 billion. And this one guy controls $750 billion, which means he's connected with most of the wealthy people on the planet because they put money into his hedge fund and he invests and so forth. And as we were chatting over the week, we talked about success principles and common denominators of success. There was one common denominator when I brought it up, everyone lit up like a Christmas tree because they all said that this is the missing key to success, and that is giving. Giving. Do you realize that the wealthiest people on the planet give a higher percentage of their income and net worth than people that are average income earners? A higher percentage, not just a higher amount, a higher percentage of their income and net worth. And you will say, well, they can afford it. But what you don't know is that they started their giving when they were broke, when they were first starting off. That is what you don't understand. You think that when they started making money, that's when they started giving. No, they started giving the first time they ever made any income. John D. Rockefeller, arguably the richest man of all time, said that when he got a job, and I believe it was selling newspapers, and he made $1.50, his first paycheck, his first income, he made $1.50 for the week. He gave 30% of that away. And he said in his writings that he gave at least 30% of every dollar he earned for the rest of his life. And later in life, it was a lot more than that. And he said, this giving is the single one thing that I can point to that allowed me to create the wealth that I created in my life. It's a spiritual principle that absolutely 100% works. When you give, you are virtually planting a seed into the universe. And the scriptures say that that seed will come back to you. And it will come back 100 to 1,000-fold, minimum. It is the only step-by-step, totally complete manifesting or prosperity or success system in existence.
My income has doubled. I'm getting close to tripling.
That's the reason why people who read this and apply it are seeing such spectacular results.
I'm making more money than I've ever had, ever.
How much more money I'm earning and the woman that I have in my life is just miraculous.
These techniques work. They are powerful, practical, scientifically based, and have passed the test of time. If you want things in your life to change, you're going to have to change things in your life.
After getting your wishes or command, I went from 5K on my bank account to 8 million in 1.5 years.
Read it and watch what happens.